Hello, this is Jonathan Lane with Global Strings Alliance, and today we're going to talk about how to tune a cello. Tuning a cello is one of the more challenging tasks that a young student, teacher, or parent will have to do. When a cello gets quite a bit knocked out of tune, it can be tedious to get it back in tune. First, before we go on and talk about how to tune, let's review the parts of a cello. We have the scroll, the pegs, or sometimes called friction pegs, the fingerboard, the strings, the neck, the bridge, the tailpiece, the fine tuners or screws built into the tailpiece, and then the end pin. If you can, tuning the cello with the fine tuners will be the easiest thing you can do. You can turn the cello to you sideways like this, or you can turn it this way so you face it, and you turn right clockwise to tighten the screw, or turn left or counterclockwise to loosen the screw. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So you can use a piano, it's one way, with the sustain pedal to the right, and you can tighten that screw. Next, we'll talk about how to use the pegs. When a cello is significantly out of tune, first thing we want to check and see if the strings are lined up properly. So this cello now is quite out of tune. Lovely, right? Now, to check that, you want to make sure that this string is attached in the tailpiece properly, it's going over the bridge correctly, and it's lined into the peg box. If these are not all lined up and you start tightening the string, it can be easy to break a string. So you can do a little test that you've got it in the right place, and you can move it with the pegs. Now, the piano is a good choice for a sustained drone note. You can do it that way if you have an acoustic piano. So your example is a C, which the bottom string is a C, and then I can do this kind of thing and see if it's going to stay. Now, since these are called friction pegs, you must push in at the same time you tighten. A peg is cut in such a way and tapered in such a way that it will hold in the peg box. So you have the ebony peg against the maple peg box, or the wood in the scroll. So you must push in at the same time. If you do not have access to an acoustic piano or even an electric piano that gives a drone or sustain note, I highly recommend a tuner like this chord tuner. So I put the tuner on, and then I set it on the pitch I want to go to. So here we want to go to a C. So I have that C, and I'm going to do like side saddle or whatever so I can get it this way. And I can have some leverage. And I can do that. There's low, too high. All right, that's close enough for at the moment. Then we go to the G string. So I would go over to my tuner and I would set it on G. And at this point, you're just trying to get it close. Does not have to be perfect. Then I would go to the D. Here's the D. Now that's pretty close. So right now I'm going to reach down and use the fine tuner and just try to... Alright, then we go to the A string. So again, I would come here and set this on A. And I would turn this way. Now I have hold it with my left hand so I can create some weight Now while I was tuning, I saw the C string slip, so it's way out of tune again. And this will happen, this is common. So I can go back to the C and try again with the C. And it's low, X, because it will slip and go low. Now, the strings are not great, but they're close. So the next step now with electronic tuner is switch it to where it listens to the sound. All right? And it has a needle, and it'll tell you when you hit it. So let's start with the A this time. So it's showing it slightly flat. The needle is to the left. So I'm going to use the fine tuner and get it closer. Now I won't worry about being too picky because I can see right now there's a problem. The fine tuner is already tightened up too much. So I have to back off the fine tuner, which I'm going to back off quite a bit. And I'm going to have to go back to here. So I know it's low. I'm going to use visuals to get there, and I got lucky. Got a pretty good A at the moment. Then I go to D. It's a little low. I'll try the fine tuner first. Got that pretty close, and then I got a G. It tells me it's an F sharp. So I know that's too low. An F sharp is below a G. So I'm going to try again as a half step. And then see how we are with the fine tuner. The fine tuner is already tightened up, so I have to back off the fine tuner so I have some more range. And I come back and go again. I'm going to check with the fine tuner. It's a little high now. I can take the fine tuner and back off a little bit. Now the C. It's telling me it's a B. A B is below C, A, B, C. So we're going to sit here and going to go up just a little bit and then come back to the fine tuner. It still says it's a B, so I have to come up some more. Got to push in at the same time or it will slip and fall back. Now it says it's a C sharp. I'm going to try and bring the fine tuner back in line to what a C would be. And I have room to bring that down. We went past it. All right, now we can check again. There's our C. And notice I'm using pizzicato. I'm using plucking. I'm not using the bow at the moment. That G's a little low. Now I got the D. Now we do the A, and that's a little bit low. So let's check again. Here's A, that's pretty good. That D says it's a little high. The G, and now the C. So you can see that you'll have to do this multiple times. And this is one of the things that's why it's so important not to have the student drop the instrument, leave it out in the car, in the temperature. Just be careful. You don't want to knock a cello out of tune because the laborious task of putting it back in tune. So this is what it's supposed to sound like. And a reminder, it's the C string, the G string, the D string, and the A string. Thank you very much.